Good morning, good morning. It's a wonderful Tuesday here at Africa Farmers. This is the Hot Breakfast Show with me, Masi Kemunto.
Joan Nyambura.
Thank you so much for joining us. And how was your long extended weekend? Tell us on the comment section below. This is AFarmers Media. Don't forget where we connect, learn, and grow. Joan, good morning.
Good morning, Masi.
Nimekuamsha mapema sana.
Leo ilikuwa ngumu kuamka.
Why? Because you were having a very long extended weekend.
It was not long. Basically, tulikuwa kazi jana. But the period bado, the hangover. Let's say hangover.
No,
that kind
it
of
was extended.
Yeah, it's kind of extended today.
How was your weekend like?
My weekend was okay. My Monday evening was also okay. How about yours?
I had a fantastic weekend. Yes, I had an amazing weekend. And I wasn't in this county. I went to Makwini County. But I'm here. You just don't ask how I managed to be at work here yesterday and I was in Makwini County, but you just know I went to Makwini County. And I'm so glad for you few viewers tuning in to today's breakfast show. This is AFarmers Media. We are located in Kajiado County. That is Kajiado County, County 034. Yes. We're so glad that you've tuned in. Our weekend was fantastic. We had a very good weekend, and here we are again, back to the normal norms of us being here and connecting, learning, and growing with you viewers, because even us here at the studio, we actually do learn. So don't just imagine that you're the only ones who learn from the comments, from what you say. We are personally, I'm learning. I have grown as an aspiring farmer, or as a farmer. I have grown sana, and I'm so glad that you've tuned in this morning. There was nothing trending this morning, but we'll check later on that what has been trending this weekend. But people went for Easters, people are not around. It was raining because yesterday where I was, it rained heavily. So actually we as farmers, we are happy because the rains are here again. Hata kama ni zile tunaonjeshwa alafu zinapotea.
I hope hazitapotea.
We're hoping that they won't potea again. So we're glad that at least it rained, because the sun, kidogo, it was like really hot. And when you say hot, it's that sun that you're like, wait, did someone carry me from here to Mombasa? Because that's the sun that's found in the coastal region. And at least it has rained. We are glad that kama kuna matope hapa na pale, we're glad that it has rained. Thank you for joining us. This is the AFarmers Breakfast Show. Hot breakfast show. Yes, the hot must be there. Hot must be there. So you can as well tweet, you can tag us, hashtag AFarmers Breakfast, hashtag AFarmers Media, hashtag the Hot Breakfast Show with me, Masi Kemunto, and Joan Nyambura. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms.
AFarmers Media on Facebook.
Yes.
You can also check out our Africa Farmers Club also on Facebook.
Yes.
AFarmers Media on YouTube. AFarmers at AFarmers. You know you have to say at.
Yes, we are at AFarmers. That's on Twitter.
That is on Twitter with a Z.
And on Instagram.
Yes,
DM us, tweet. Just do something, engage in this conversation. And I told you we'll be having some present here. It's just that the person who is responsible for transporting, you can come tope or something, but just know we'll be having some gifts for those viewers who actually take their time and tune in into the breakfast show every single morning. And we are very glad, we're very proud of you, and we are happy that you actually take your time to tune in every single day. Before we head over to the traffic update, I want you to tell us, how was your Easter weekend like? For our Muslim friends, yes, how was your weekend like? Because for them generally it's a weekend. So how is your weekending, or is it extended? Have you gotten back to work? And how is it having a weekend? Was it from Thursday evening? So where did you go? What did you learn? What did you get to encounter? Challenges, and what have you learned? Because every single day is a learning day. So just know that each and every single day that you wake up, you actually learn something. Ensure that for today, this is what I have actually been able to learn. And before that, yesterday, I was able to learn this particular thing. So ensure each and every single day it's a learning process for you. So I want us to go to the weather update. We've saying that So the rains are here.
Yeah.
The farmers are happy. I'm sure you guys you like extra happy because for farmers who actually depend on the rain-fed type of agriculture, who actually practice that particular type of agriculture, it's actually a little bit tricky because the rains are not here. Then my crops has jaona maji.
Okay.
You see, but don't we here at AFarmers, we ensure that each and every single challenge that you as a farmer is facing, we actually come up with a solution. Even if it's not a full solution, we ensure that at least there's something that can
That is working.
complement that solution, at least work for you. So before we actually later on the show, we'll tell you how you can actually the rains are here and how you can actually retain this water that is here already. We're actually going to tell you on how to do that, but before that I want us to go to the weather updates. In Nairobi we have rains. Actually we have rains, sunny intervals, max of 26 degrees. In Mombasa we have sunny intervals and a little bit of showers. It might rain or might not rain in Mombasa, or it might be having a little bit of manyunyu. Called manyunyu in Kiswahili. We'll call Diana and advise us on that. Kisumu we have sunny intervals and rain. Eldoret is going to be sunny. Same to Nakuru, sunny. Nyeri rains and some sunny intervals. Marsabit will be rains, sunny intervals, and the sad part is the saddest part is that we as farmers actually we are glad that the rains are here. But now the rains are here, yes. But with our infrastructure, it happens, probably the drainage system, it happens that mvua inanyesha, mafuriko ndio hii. People were actually complaining yesterday, just yesterday. That it started raining yesterday. But as per yesterday evening, there are people who have already been affected by floods. You can imagine.
That is a sad story.
It has started raining, not even 2 days into the rainy season, but yes.
What do you think is the issue?
I think it's an infrastructure. The infrastructure is the problem, because if we actually have good drainage system, and if we even actually have dams to store all this water that we complain, floods, if the dams were built and this water to be stored, then it could be a very, very good solution to all this.
But
Bridges,
the same places, building dams is a bit difficult also, because how can it sustain? Some soils cannot hold. So basically, it's a solution, but with the wrong soil. But I still think there's a way of working around the soil. There's always a way of working around the soil.
Yeah, there's always a way of working around the soil.
So I think there's somewhere we're sleeping.
Somewhere we as a country we are sleeping, because at the end of the day is everyone's responsibility. It might not be your responsibility directly, but speaking out, that you've played your part.
Yes.
As a farmer, yes.
And also coming up with ideas of how to do it. Yes.
Now at least the load will be not on your back, because you've spoken out. So how feel any guilt, because I've played my part. I spoke out and I said this ABCD, we can do ABCD, but with time, probably if the solution or if whatever you spoke out has not been implemented, then that's not on you, because we shall play your part.
Hey, master.
Yes. Joan, this morning coming, how was your road like?
Muddy. It was muddy, and today not as many people were walking along the road, and I wondered why. Ama ni watu jua baridi, they are still sleeping. I have no idea. How was your road?
As I told you, I'm from Makueni, so from that side it's actually good. The weather over there is good, but there when the weather is like this, it's really, really chilly in the morning, like cold. So I have some few tweets here courtesy of Matre Route. Someone is saying, I hope all of you are aware that the expressway hasn't been commissioned yet, and that the floor drains were actually done after it had started raining for a reason.
Hey.
Yes, I don't know why. So they were waiting for it to rain so that they can do the floors. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yes, Najua also, but there's no fuel in total Energy that's on Lusaka Road. Mombasa Road, it's moving. Actually, it's moving. Then the National Transport and Safety Authority has launched a joint operation with the traffic police. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That
But
is
don't
nice.
panic if you actually know there's nothing wrong with your car.
Yeah.
And if you know you're driving a roadworthy car, then there's nothing you can panic. But people actually do
How many
panic.
people have roadworthy cars?
That's
Kenya?
a discussion of another day. Because sometimes you're on the road, unaona gari, and you're like, wait, what? Is actually someone driving this car? And there's someone actually inside. So
But
I think such kind of operation sometimes it's actually helpful.
Yes, and I think in Kenya we actually have like 20% roadworthy cars. Do you know what roadworthy cars mean?
Tell us.
Hey, so many things. Hii gari inafaa kuwa na
It has gone,
service.
yes, it has gone for service. It has gone for inspection.
Hey,
For the
Lord.
inspection, inspection is mandatory. So if you know
Tires
that
hazifai kukaa for a certain period.
of time, the way that your light should look, like it's a lot
Do you
of
imagine
things.
how much tires cost?
Right now, 4,500 per tire. Or how much is it? I don't know.
Lord.
I don't know. I think it's around 5,000.
Do you know maintaining a car for like 6 months, you can buy a plot somewhere in Kamulu. Proper way, like roadworthy way. Wacha vile sisi upuuza, like actually
and you're like, you know what?
Yes.
Afisa afande elewa tu unajua hii Kenya economy. Everyone has a kila mtu anangana anaji-explain. You know, hey, economy is bad, you know.
maintaining a car.
Tulia tu tutakunywa chai.
But anyway, let's see how we'll go, how we'll do it. Maybe they'll come up with better and easier and simpler ways of doing it, which will not affect everyone.
Yes, I think for you as our listener, I think it's good, even if you have to sacrifice a lot, it's good to drive a roadworthy car, not just for the purpose of the inspection or the operation that's ongoing, but for your own purpose, because
Safety.
you know, for your own safety, ensuring that your life matters. Just know at the end of the day, your life matters. So whatever you do, or even if you're on the road, just drive safely. Don't overspeed. If you're overtaking, ensuring you're overtaking at the place where you should be. You are allowed to overtake. Yes.
And you can see there's space for overtaking.
Yes, and you can see that. What plans? Someone is asking, what plans are there to restore our old Mombasa Road? We need our 3 good lanes. We need our spacious walkways, and we need our trees back. You see, this is someone who is conserving the environment bit, because actually this person has emphasized on we need our trees back. Because at the end of the day, trees are very, very important. You might not see it, but don't forget, we used to learn, or me when I was in school. Not that I've finished school, but
back to my school, your school days.
Yes, back to my school ages. Back then, we used to learn that if you actually cut 1 tree, you should plant 2.
Yes.
And I think that's what should be happening. If you cut 1 tree, just plant 2. It's for the consumption of our environment, for we as farmers.
I also think when you are cutting 1, where do you think you'll get another tomorrow if you don't plant another one?
Where can we?
Where will you get another one?
If you cut and don't plant.
Actually,
where do you expect to come and get another tree?
And it's something logical, but not many people look at it like that.
From the logical part of it, understanding that yes, I've cut this tree today, tomorrow I might need the same tree.
And you have a very good reason. Maybe unaenda kujenga kwako.
Yes, of which it's understandable.
It's your land, by the way.
It's your land, but ensuring that when you cut 1 tree, plant 2.
Yes. Next time utataka kujenga another house, another bungalow somewhere.
But
you have no timber to do it.
Because ulikata miti zote when you were
tena.
Yes. The fuel is here. At least there's no traffic. You know, it has been a problem, so at least we're glad fuel is here. Takama prices have increased. At least it's available. Yes, because you used to wake up in the morning. Not that the traffic is there because of traffic, but traffic is on the road because people are actually lining up to get fuel. Yes, at least now our roads can actually move a little bit faster, and we're glad about that. Yes. So today morning, as I was coming this morning, I was karibu kidogo nianguke na bike because of matope, but I arrived here safe. Yes. So don't forget, this is the Farmers Breakfast Show, and want to dive into today's topic that we actually want to discuss. And today we are actually majoring on the cities part. tuko kwa city sasa.
Nice.
We
Hata
are in
nimesikia
Nairobi.
comment fulani hapo and I'm like, did that person know?
Yes. That like, is this person aware of what we want to discuss about? Like today we want to discuss about urban farming.
Yes.
And what majorly urban farming entails in general, how to do it, what are the benefits, and why do people actually do urban farming? Because people have reasons why
Yes.
they actually do it. But I'm too. Hey, by the way, I did this because of ABCD. So today we are in the city areas. Yes. So if you are listening to us and you feel like, by the way, hey, mboga kuna venye.
Hey.
Kuna venye. So
Do you know, Mercy?
just stick around because we have some more good news. Tell us.
We need to plant our own. I'm going to plant my
You're
own
going
now.
to plant your own now?
I left my kitchen garden at home. Now where I'm living, I need to plant one.
You need to do one thing. They are very quite helpful, and
Yes.
for this form of farming, it has a lot than what we just know, than what we just think it is.
Yes.
It entails a lot of things. And actually, before we go for a break, I need us to understand how to do it. When you know the how to, the other things now that follows will be quite easy for you as a farmer. And I want us to actually look at the meaning of what is urban farming in general, like, and understand what is urban farming, what does urban farming mean. And please continue tweeting. We're going to read your comments and continue telling us how your weekend is like, because we will be glad to know. Joan, what do you think urban farming is? When I come and tell you, Joan, by the way, I think I'm going to start practicing urban farming or urban agriculture, because farming is just farming. Then we have agriculture in general, well, entails even having kuku, sungura, and everything. When I come and tell you what urban farming is, what do you think?
The first thing I will have thought was kitchen gardens. That is urban farming.
That's the first thing that runs in your mind.
But then I came to realize that also people keep livestock as part of urban farming. So basically, it's utilizing the small space in the city or in the urban areas that you have to practice agriculture. So basically, that is what, in simpler terms, I would say urban farming is.
Yes. So that's the simplest actually you can say. When that's kitchen gardening and just being able to supply food for your own consumption. But generally, urban farming is the processing and cultivating and processing of food. Not only just food, it stretches out to even chickens, that's poultry farming, having fisheries, even just planting trees. People can actually plant trees in their own homesteads, which is very helpful. So, but now in the urban area, now that's where the difference comes in. Just being able to manage your small space and actually producing food from that small space that you have, and putting that space into perfect use and maintaining it perfectly, that it ends up being helpful to you as a family or to even your homestead, your own homestead.
Basically, we used to call it cities going green. That was
the name.
That was the name. Like if you had someone saying there's a city that is going green, people there are practicing urban farming. They are really doing it. It doesn't matter what they're doing. If they are keeping livestock, if they are growing crops, they are planting trees. But there are trees you can plant that they will bring a lot of that breeze,
breeze, maybe shades. Even trees are very helpful for shade.
There's a certain plant. I'm going to look for the name, and I'm going to come and tell you tomorrow. It's a very small one. Does not grow. In a grow kidogo too, like my height, and that's it. But ukiingia that place, Lord,
it looks beautiful.
Beautiful.
You see,
good breeze, nice smell, fresh air, and it does not require a lot of space. Minimal space.
At the end of the day, we just want us to maximize on the small space that you actually have. Did I tell you a story? Me being an aspiring farmer, or me wanting to venture into farming, it has not started now. I used actually to love farming-ish, but I didn't know if it's farming or what was that specifically. But we've lived in the city, and you can know the city, how it is in these apartments. Like there's some apartments where you're restricted, don't render chickens in this place, or don't do this, don't do that. But the place where we were, it was it was a little bit spacious. Yet you could plant something on that land, a small land. So in the house we used to live, the backyard now, there was like a small place. It was not ekwemelimwa. So yes, and I was like, what can't I just lima here and plant something? But previously I used to grow flowers. You see this, you put them in
pots,
in tins, yes, or in those two pots. You put them in tins, you put soil. And I used to go back to school and actually request my mom and tell her, please mom, please mwage mimea zangu maji, please. And because I used to come back and find them dead.
Wow.
Kai, we forgot. Just do the first, the second day, and I have to start again and maybe search for more flowers and plant them again. And it used to be like really heartbreaking. And I was like, or I just leave it. I was like, no, I'm not going to stop planting these flowers. So I think I moved to another step of actually now planting to nyanya. But now my nyanyas, you know how I used to do it. I used to go and steal nyanyas from kwa nyumba and take those two seeds. I didn't know they will actually grow, and they grew. But now they removed two small tomatoes, and I was happy, because for me that was the biggest achievement.
Yes,
because
I
what
totally
I
understand.
planted in the mare, and actually take maize, and in that farm had everything, nyanya, maize, beans, everything that can grow, because I used to take and throw it there. But they used to grow, and actually it's a little bit satisfying when you see actually you have something that is growing and everything. And personally, in our home, we even if we move from where we live, we have to have chicken. It's mandatory.
Yes. I love that spirit.
Yes.
It's also a thing with my family. Wherever we go, we must have chicken.
Yes, it's mandatory. And kila mtu akona kuku yake. You have to take care of your own chicken, even if the rest will not eat. Enjoy your chicken. You can actually, my sisters actually go and take their own chickens and go and give them food separate from the rest. Yes. And they're like, no, my chicken has to feed so they actually take their own chicken, and they're like, me, I'm going to feed my own chicken. Or when, with sometime unazifungulia zote, so they just put food on their own and actually ensure the rest wanazifukuza for those to eat first. You see,
that is good parenting.
Yeah, that's good parenting for the chicken. And when they start laying eggs, they can hide even those eggs even under the bed, because they know mama atachukua sema tupike
na utakula sisi wote.
So they just have to hide those eggs. And I was actually proud of my sister the other day that she actually managed to keep those eggs. And now the part that she didn't know is that kuku, with chicken, even if it's one egg, it will want to hatch. So she wasn't aware that the hatching time was here. So she thinks that the chicken should just continue laying eggs and laying eggs, and it should never stop. So she wasn't aware that this chicken wants maybe to hatch now the eggs. But at least we helped her out, and she's glad that she has her chicks. She's taking good care of them.
Yes. Talking about chicks, do you know I went home and found my chicken had hatched chicks?
Chicks.
Yes,
you're happy?
I actually placed around 16 eggs, 15 hatched.
Oh, you see,
that's
a proud farm over there. Like these are some of the satisfying things that we as a farmer actually do feel, because there's this thing with you being able to maybe to actually grow a plant and see that imeshatoa matunda.
Yes.
It's a very satisfying thing that you will feel it, like it might not be actually profitable, but how you feel in your soul is the most important thing, because you just feel happy and satisfied and just contented, like I've been able to plant a certain crop and it has grown and it has been up to this level and it's the best crop that I can actually plant. It's actually satisfying. And
see, on the same topic, I want to ask you a question. How did it feel when your family ate those tomatoes?
It feels like it's the same way, like you do something perfectly well and you're like, you see someone, or it's a garment that you've made and you see someone walking around with the garment, you're like, that's the work of my hands.
Yes.
And that's how it felt when I saw my mom using the tomatoes to cook, and I was like, you know what, that's the work of my hands, and you actually feel really happy.
So basically, as a farmer, that is what we are looking for.
Yes,
that is the pride that we
want.
Feel.
There's this pride that you feel, even if you don't just get appreciated, just know we as a farmers media, we appreciate you as a farmer, because people are used, people are comfortable. Like at the end of the day, I'll go to the market and at the end of the day, I'm going to the market and get vegetables. And if we as farmers, all of us decided to, like, this season we are not planting, trust me, the rate at which people are going to die of hunger, you won't even, like, you can't notice now, but you just know whatever you're doing, whatever you put your hands into doing, it's actually helping everyone. As 75% of the population, you're actually helping. And if you
True.
Yes.
So basically, that should be a motivation, even when you are going to talk about this topic. Do you know, it's going to be a very small thing, because you're talking about very small spaces, but utilizing those small spaces and actually growing something that will feed your family, not even your neighbors, but basically feeding your family. Yes.
Even financially.
Like maybe going the way you're saying, you grew your tomatoes, and going to your mom and saying, hey mom, si mlikata kumwagia tomato zangu maji,
but
I did it, na
this is
pika.
what I've produced.
Yes.
That you can cook.
You can cook.
Yes.
Do you know how gratifying that
is?
is?
Yeah, it's a very satisfying feeling. Like, you just feel satisfied, and that's the best feeling that you as a farmer can feel. Even if the appreciation does not come to you directly, even if we don't say as much as we are supposed to say it, just know here at AFarmers, we actually appreciate you as a farmer there at home, taking your time, waking up every single day, because I know right now most farmers are in the farm. Even if you're not a farmer directly, practicing the farm, even if you invested in it, even if you are the one transporting these goods there, you are valued at any point, because it's a chain that you can't do without another person. You can produce your good, but you can't find the person transport it. Or you can be having the money to invest, but you don't have the farm laborers.
True.
So everyone in this is actually needed, and your presence actually is appreciated for you just being there. So we want us to look on the how to do the urban farming. We've understood what is urban farming, and just in general, it's you being able to manage and maximize and actually fully use the space that you have in your home in the urban area, leave alone the rural area, because the farms are so big. Just talking about now the urban area. And first of all, we were just talking about having a kitchen garden, and a kitchen garden can be just maybe having the wall hangings, those 2 buckets. You can be having, actually, people using tires, people using sacks. Like, there's so many things that you can actually use to just put in their soil and plant. You know, with planting, as long as you have soil, it's not a must you have the land. As long as you have the soil, then trust me, mimi yako itamea. So just using, even if you don't have a farm, you can actually buy sacks and unatoboa, then panda. You see those types of
even the buckets.
Yeah, even buckets.
Your buckets and basins. And actually, there's a certain farmer I saw here at Makadara who had tins. The is it in Zarangi? You see them, the small ones. She had planted onions.
You see, like,
yes. And now she had shells. Shells, yes, of the tins now.
You see, just maximizing your small space. The smallest space that you have, you can actually plant a lot that all these produce are just from this small space. Yeah. And the first one of it is just find training. It might not be training as such, but get yourself exposed and just know what farming entails if you want to start farming, because there's some people who are not even aware of what farming is generally and how to do it. Just find general training. You can seek training from friends. You can seek training from people who have actually done it before. You can seek training from those people who have been exposed to this type of farming and who know actually how to do it. And they tell you, you know what, when you put these sacks, there should be these holes and there should be these spaces apart, or they should be spaced in this number of meters. It's important, because you just don't plant.
Yeah, the soil should be this compact.
Yeah, the soil should be this compact.
Leave maybe space, you should
leave this amount of space, or you should water them morning and evening, or you should water them once a day, or you can water them up to after 2 days. That's now the type of training that you will need for you to start this type of urban farming. That's just generally the type of training that you will need as a farmer. And secondly is we actually talk about, I was reading this article the other day, and I saw that for you to start urban farming, you should have a business plan.
we say that.
I think it's
when you talked about
important.
business
It's
plans, that
important,
we talked
actually.
about it.
Yes, we talked about
talked
having
about
a
it.
business plan. If you've not watched this video, it's very, very important that you
Yes.
actually watch it, because I think it's one of my favorite and my best topics apart from soil testing. Yes, so just go and watch this video. It's on YouTube and it's actually on Facebook still. You can go and watch this video and get to know what having a business plan entails in general.
Yes.
So just know before you start urban farming, you should have a business plan, because at the end of the day, you need sacks. At the end of the day, you need seeds. At the end of the day, you need how to find water.
You need soil.
Because kama unatoa maji kwa nyumba, which means you're going to be build that water. You should put it down and know that in this kitchen garden of mine, I'm going to spend this amount of water. So this is the type, I'm going to spend these liters of water, and this is the amount that I'm going to pay. Just note it down for your own financial help, and just know how to do it.
Another thing is, the good thing with urban farming is that you have to find solutions for water, for lack of water. There's a process. You remember the water filtration?
Yeah, actually you have, yes, filtering water.
Yes.
Kama hata hiyo maji umetoka kuosha nayo nyumba, it doesn't have even a lot of soap.
Ata vyombo. You know what? Vyombo, alafu the water you use to rinse your
just
your
filter
greens.
it.
Yes,
Water
filter
filtration.
too.
You can actually look at that one day.
Yeah.
Some of the sources of water, apart from rain and apart from digging a dam.
Yes.
Or having a river
borehole.
nearby, or a borehole. You can just see how actually to do it. Yes, that's actually very, very important to just know where you're going to get the water from and have a business plan. Generally, it's important. You might not see the help or the advantage of it, but at the end of the day, you'll be like, wait, what? Mbona nyumba tumetumia maji mingi sana? But if you had a business plan and knew this is the amount of water I'm going to use, then you won't start questioning yourself on where the water went, or why didn't you do that. It's important for you to have a business plan. And another thing is, have an appropriate land, appropriate soil, or appropriate space where there's sunlight, which is very important. Just know whatever place you're planting, just have heat exposed to sunlight.
Yes,
it's important.
A minimum of around 5 to 6 hours.
Yes, a minimum of 5 to 6 hours that this plant of yours has sunlight. It's important for its growth. Yes, and just know that it's not a must you have land, as we said. When I talk about appropriate land, I just mean the space that you're going to work your farming on. Just generally, the space that you're going to use to work on that's the land for you now. Because what can we call that? That space of yours is your land that you're going to work and cultivate on. Just know it's important for you to have it. If you are in a position to, of which I'll advise you to do it, but if you're not in a position to, whatever place that you're going to acquire this soil from, you can just test it.
Yes.
And just generally know.
It is very important.
Yes. Just generally know if it's compatible for whatever crop that you're going to plant there. It's actually really important. You can note it down. It's not mandatory, but it's important. So it's your choice to make. It's important for you to do it. Remember
There's
that.
nothing disappointing like having issues with such thing, like a small thing.
Yeah.
Then
a very manageable small space.
Then you plant and something goes wrong.
Yes.
Just because you didn't check on the soil.
You feel bad. You're like, so I just tried this out and it's actually not working, and you just feel bad. So if you can avoid
the only thing you need to do is check the soil.
Check the type of soil, whatever place that you're going to acquire this soil from. Maybe you're going to kubeba na magunia. You can ask this person, have you done soil testing in this soil of yours, and how is it? Can you just give me the chart? I see what this soil is lacking, or what does it have more? What should I manage? What should I minimize using because it already has it? It's actually really, really important to do so.
Yes.
And lastly, I think you have just to understand generally the basic of production. Production is big. We have post-production, we have pre-production, and we just have production itself. Post is now you arranging yourself, acquiring the soil, and getting to understand where you're going to do it, how you're going to do it. Is it in sacks, amani karatasi, amani tires, amani buckets? Just understanding that's pre-production.
That is pre.
Just understanding what am I going to grow here, where am I going to put it. That's that's what production just entails. Pre-production. Then you have production. Now it's the act of you planting it and ensuring that you water your crops. Now this is hapa katikati, watering your crops. Kama zinahitaji fertilizer, you can use it. But for kitchen gardening, they're not that demanding. If you actually do everything right, it's not a must you apply fertilizer, and your crops grow like really healthy. If it's your spinach, your sukuma wiki, it's like grows really like fast.
Beetroot is a highly nutritious root vegetable. The beetroot is the top proportion of a beet plant. It is one of the many varieties of the genus Beta vulgaris, all of which are mostly grown for their edible taproots and leaves. Beetroot is a root crop that takes approximately 3 to 4 months to mature. Beetroot is a fairly easy crop to grow as long as the soil is well cultivated prior to planting. Beetroots do not enjoy wet, boggy or shady soils. Beetroot can be sown in trays and transplanted when the seedlings have 2 true leaves. Plant in full sun, space seedlings 10 to 15 centimeters apart, and rows 20 centimeters to 30 centimeters apart so they have room to grow. Beetroots are also ideal for containers or raised beds. Beetroots will happily thrive in small areas as long as there is at least 20 centimeters depth of soil. Beetroot has been used not only for food but also for treatment for numerous conditions. Celery is a marshland plant that comes from the same family as carrots and parsley. It has long, firm and pale green fibrous stalks and grows in bunches of approximately 8 to 10 centimeters. The stalks taper into leaves at the top. When planting celery, it's best to ensure that the soil is enriched with compost and with a soil pH of between 5.8 to 6.8. It is also important for celery to grow in moisture-retentive soil. Lastly but not the least, select a site that receives full and direct sunlight. Celery needs about 130 to 140 days to mature between seedling and harvest. Growing celery is generally considered to be an ultimate vegetable gardening challenge. It's easy to grow but has very specific needs.
Pesticides can be very harmful to humans and environment if they're not properly handled. Safe handling of pesticides involves proper selection and careful handling during mixing and application. However, as useful as they are, they're inherently toxic. Here are some ways you can handle pesticides for your own safety, your farms, and the people around you.
We are looking at reduced accumulation of obsolete pest control products in the country as one. We are also looking at the associated conservation of environment and also protection, conservation of beneficial insects such as pollinators and predators, which are used to control other pests.
Before you use the pesticide, read the label and leaflet carefully. Measure the required quantity of pesticide.
You have to have adequate clean water for the mixing. Adequate meaning enough to dilute the pesticide and also enough to do the cleaning of the equipment and yourself after the application. During the mixing process, you are also supposed to be wearing your personal protective equipment or PPE, and this is to avoid exposure to the pesticides.
Applicators and handlers need to wear appropriate personal protective equipment specified on pesticide product labels by pictogram. In hot and humid climates, the wearing of additional protective clothing may be uncomfortable, and pesticides should therefore be applied during the cooler hours of the day. Care should be taken not to touch any part of the body with gloves while handling pesticides. Avoid spillage and prepare spray fluid in well-ventilated area. Do not eat, drink or smoke when handling pesticides. Check the spray equipment before use for any leakages and accurate delivery of spray solution. The nozzle should be directed to the side, away from the body. This prevents applicators walking into the spray cloud or recently sprayed foliage. Inspect equipment regularly for leaks. Leaking equipment should be repaired and the skin should be washed after any accidental contamination. While applying pesticides, be sure to follow application instructions precisely. More is not better. Unnecessary and/or incorrect application can result in exceedance of maximum residue levels, which can make the produce unmarketable.
All consumers want to eat safe food. So whenever there is an issue of what we call exceedance of pesticides, or what we call maximum residual levels of a particular pesticide, then what happens is that the market becomes very concerned because they want to assure their consumers that they are eating safe food, which basically is healthy. And then what they will do is that they are going to discontinue the supply of the products that you're exporting.
In contrast, responsible and correct pesticide use following good agricultural practices protects the crop and keeps residues within acceptable limits required for sale. Incorrect application of pesticides can damage the crops and have a negative effect on human health and the environment.
The vision is basically to ensure that we can bring as many farmers to understand the importance of safe use of pesticides, to understand the institutions that are involved in regulation of pesticides, to understand that pesticides, when used well, will support production or increase production, and more importantly, the risks associated to the environment from pesticides.
Once you have finished applying the pesticides on target crops, empty the spray tank completely after spraying. Spray any remaining spray mix on the ground of the treated crop. Triple rinse and puncture the empty pesticide containers and place this in a safe place for disposal. Ask your supplier or agro dealer about a collection scheme. Clean the spray equipment immediately after use. Decontaminate protective clothing and footwear through following proper laundering or cleaning instructions. Wash the hands and body thoroughly with soap water. A sprayed field must be marked and unauthorized entry should be prevented. In case of suspected poisoning, please refer to the label for instructions and call the Poison Center on toll-free line indicated on the label. Report the specific pesticide used. Mishandling pesticides could have adverse effects on not only plants but also humans and the environment. Proper care and instructions should be adhered to always. Farmers are advised to attend available trainings on good agricultural practices and pesticide use within their counties to ensure safety while handling pesticides. Remember, proper usage of pesticides increases yields and market access for your produce. Food safety is everyone's responsibility, starting with the farmer. Dawa bora, mazao bora.
Welcome back to the AFarmers Hot Breakfast Show with me, Masi Kemunto.
Joanne Nyambura.
I'm always tempted to say with me, Joanne Nyambura. I don't know why that word. Just use. Ama you'll be starting to say, welcome to the with me, Joanne, and I will say, I'm Masi Kemunto. Yes, because I'm used to, I was almost saying, welcome to the breakfast show with me, Joanne. Okay, me, I'm Masi Kemunto.
I am Joanne Nyambura.
The aspiring farmer.
The professional farmer.
This is the Hot Breakfast Show.
Welcome.
This is the Hot Breakfast Show here at AFarmers Media, where we connect, learn, and grow. And we also tell the story of a farmer. Don't forget that. We actually do tell the story of a farmer every single day, a story at a day for you to attain knowledge. Not only just attain knowledge, but also grow your profits, which is the most important part of farming.
Yes.
So first of all, we want to apologize for the technical issues that happened before we went for the short break, but hope mtatusamehea. Yes, man is to error. Yes, so we were discussing about on the how-to. The how-to of urban farming. And actually, I have to ask something to our viewers. Just tell us if you're practicing urban farming and what exactly are you growing and how is it beneficial to you as a farmer? How is it benefiting you? What are some of the benefits in your mona ikikuwa nayo? Like just generally, what are its benefits? And just tell us how is your experience with doing urban farming like?
Yeah, maybe
like
the challenges
that you're encountering.
The kind of solutions that you came up with.
The kind of solution that you actually did come up with. And we're going to read your comments before we finish the show. Just tell us what urban farming is.
Yes.
So we're discussing about the how-to.
Yes.
John, will you take us through on the how-to for us to understand, because we had a minor technical issue before we went for a short break. So just want to quickly check on the how-to generally of how we've actually done it. And first of all, the first one was, we said, is fine training.
Yes. It was the pre-production part. Find the training, do a business plan, maybe get exposed on other people who have actually done it. Test your soil.
It's important.
Yes, you have to test your soil.
Yes.
What else? What else have I forgotten? I think basically that's
it. And
that was
just
it.
Understand the basic of production.
Yes.
Generally.
And where to get your water from. Other maybe sources. You don't have to basically use the water that you're getting from the taps or maybe the borehole. You can actually utilize the water that you have been using in the house. So yes, that was the pre-production. Then it came to the production. Yeah, you look at the soil, the seeds that you need to plant. If it's the seedlings, you need to get them from a very good place.
Yes, from a very good place.
Yes.
Understand what the type of soil that you actually do have before even getting these seeds.
Yes, you get the seedlings. You understand the whole process of planting. If you need to get the furrows, if you need to get the holes to plant your seedlings. If you need fertilizer. But basically, with urban farming, you really don't need fertilizer
because it's just like a small piece of land.
Yes, and the soil that you have,
it's manageable.
Yes, it's manageable.
It's very quite manageable.
Yes.
Like sana, just don't forget who is sana. You're like, you know what, I just did plant, so you just grow. Your work is to grow, and magugu take care of the weeds because they're not part of what you actually did plant. So that's basically on the how to actually do urban farming and what basically entails urban farming is. And when you get to understand the basic of production, that, as we said, we have pre-production, we have production, the process of itself of planting, cultivating, and just removing the weeds. That's production in general.
Even the sacks, the buckets, how many holes you need to have for the drainage system. Yes, basically that is the production part of it.
Yes.
Then
and
you go
post-production now.
Then you go to the
post-production.
Yes.
Your spinach is ready, you harvesting it, you consuming it. It feels happy. It actually do really feel satisfying to the heart. It's of the heart. It's actually feels really satisfying because you know you did it and you're like glad that I'm the one who did this.
Yes.
And I'm happy. I'm proud of myself for doing this. So despite the fact that the rains are here, people are actually facing a lot of challenges. Now for like, is it a day?
It's a day.
Saturday, Sunday there. That's when the rains were here. And people are actually are already complaining of the floods. And we have the Kenya National Highway Authorities urging all the road users to ensure that just be careful on the road, take care of yourself. If you see a bridge is flooded, just don't use it. It's not mandatory. You better even go back to where you are or just find some accommodation somewhere than losing your life. So just don't take the risk of crossing a flooded bridge. That's a very important information that I have this morning, because at the end of the day we are losing a very important person to our lives. You might not be saying your benefit in general, but just know your impact is so big to many lives.
So many lives. People you do not even know about.
No, but you're actually impacting them either directly or indirectly. So just take care of yourself. Don't just risk it. Don't be in a hurry to go where you are. Just pole too.
Pole.
Yes. Joan.
Tulisema pole ndio mwendo.
Yes, pole ndio mwendo. Yes.
The other one was haraka.
Haraka haina baraka.
Exactly.
Just be cautious. Just go slowly. At the end of the day, you'll just arrive where you are headed to.
Yes.
Joan, how many days do you have to elections?
Basically, I cannot tell, but I think I can tell how many months.
How many months? So we have around 111 days till elections.
Is there something that you are not telling
Mzalendo.
us?
I'm a Kenyan citizen. I'm a Mzalendo. Yes, just vote. Yes, vote for the leader that you want. That's what I can say this morning. Yes, and we have around 111 days to elections, and the party nominations were happening. I think it was over the weekend. A few people were probably not happy, but just don't spread hate speech. Just have a peaceful, if it's a nomination, just let it be peaceful and accept whatever the outcome is. There's always a next time. There's always another chance for you to try again. The most important part of you is just ensuring that you just be satisfied with the results that you've gotten. Yes, and just don't spread hate speech. It's important because just know it's important for you not to spread hate speech.
True.
The effects might be really bad. The effect might be bad, might be affecting a number of families here and there. So just if you are a leader that is vying for a specific seat, you've not been nominated, just know there is always a next time, and there's always another chance for you to try again till you get it right, or till you be who you want to be.
And basically, I feel like whenever you do something and it's actually free and fair, it's actually the truth. Most people accept it.
Most people accept it. So
those
have
who
a free and fair actually.
Those who do not accept, maybe there's an issue or something. But basically, if you actually see the free and fairness of it, there's no need of going against it.
Yeah.
Hata unakosanga point ya kusema. tunakosanga point ya kusema this and this happened, why did this and this happen, but if it's free and fair, you will be satisfied. Yes,
with the results.
Yes.
Just know the most one thing I've actually come to learn is, if you do something and you don't get it right this time, you just don't stop it there.
Yes.
You try again
Yes.
next time, but you have to see, okay, what didn't I do right? So just know there's always a next time, and there's always a chance for you to try it again and do it differently.
I am
It's
proud
important.
of you. I'm very proud of you. As a farmer, I'm proud of you. Because
Proud
that
of the
is
leader that
farming.
I am becoming. Yes,
That
I
is
can-
farming talking.
Yes, this is farming talking. This is generally farming talking.
Yes.
And we want our farmers not to be afraid of planting. Once bitten, twice shy.
Yes.
That's what's always happened. Once bitten, twice shy. If something happens for you in the first time, the second time you're going to be a little bit cautious.
Yes.
So just
And do things differently.
yes. So
Yes.
don't have that doubt, because we are actually hopeful that this year we're going to have a very peaceful elections, and
Yes.
the economy is going to go back to where it should be, because life right now kidogo
Tuko kwa mpigo.
inakuja na fujo, but tunaipokea ijavyo.
Ukweli.
I will be joining Diana because I see my Kiswahili is coming out.
It's getting there.
Yes, I'm always getting there. It's important. Those are some of the things that we farmers need actually to note down. It's really important for farmers to have that.
And I think basically we also should be cautious as farmers. You need to look ahead and see
how the future looks like.
Yes.
Foresee the future.
Yes.
So that Joanne is trying to say that we foresee the future.
Yes, you need to foresee the future and see other elections have been this way and this way and this way, and these were the outcomes.
So
But
don't repeat the same mistake.
yes, and basically if it happens again, where are you? Where are you with your where do you stand with your food production? Have you found ways of storing your food? Have you found ways of maybe transporting during that time?
And ensuring also like the food security is the most important part of
Yes.
now the country. Food security is the most important. So you as a farmer, just to know tunakutegemea.
Yes.
Sisi kama wa Kenya, just now we as a country actually depending on you. So just look ahead. If you are able to produce more, do produce more.
Yes.
And as we said, if you have produced in abundance, you can't sell it out. Maybe the market was not really it was not really accommodating for you. It was not that good for you. Just might not throw the food away. You might help the needy.
Yes.
You might actually said to help the needy instead of actually throwing the food away, and you're like, you know what, I tried and the food market is not good, so I'm going to throw it. No, the people out here struggling to get even something, even for just even if it's a single meal a day. People are actually struggling to get even that single meal a day.
And I'm thinking like 70% cannot even actually have 2 meals. 3 meals in a day.
3 meals in a
And
day.
50% cannot have 2 meals in a day.
You see,
That is where we are heading.
Don't really throw your produce away. There's a solution to it. It may be towards God's plan for you to help someone out there.
Yes.
It's not no, but just if you're able to produce more, do produce more.
Yes.
And if you're actually able to help, you can help out. Because a helping hand.
I think it has to do with something it's always receiving or something of the sort.
A helping hand is a blessed hand.
Okay.
Yes. So have a helping
There is something
hand.
new that I've learned today. What have you learned today?
So going back to the topic, as you're saying, you can just engage in this conversation via our social media platform, all of them. Facebook, we are at AFarmers Media. We have a group that's called Africa Farmers Club. It's the fantastic, most fabulous, most engaging group that you can actually join, and most helpful. Helpful is very important, because it's good to join a group that is helpful. So for you as a farmer, you can actually join that group, get to learn a number of things here and there. We are on Instagram and Twitter at AFarmers with a Z, and we are also on YouTube, live on YouTube right now. It's AFarmers Media. Don't forget, as I always say, subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the notification bell, because you know what, you will be notified when we go live or when we upload a new video.
True.
That's important. And I think another thing is, we're also on LinkedIn. I'm forgetting, we're also on LinkedIn. So going back to the topic, we're discussing on urban farming, and we said that urban farming is just generally turning your city green.
Yes.
That's best definition of it.
Yes.
You're just turning your city green and being able to produce food for your household consumption. And it's important because for urban farming, it's a creative farming because it entails you managing that small space, reusing some of these resources that you have. If it's tin, you being able to reuse them. And even if you have a big space, some people are actually practicing urban farming commercially. Like, I'm planting this and I'm actually selling it out. It's also important and it's also beneficial because you're solving some of the problems that we have with food security. So if you have a big land in the urban area, you can still practice farming in large scale.
Yes.
It's allowed. But for today, we're just talking you being able to manage that small space. But farming is very big, it's very broad in general, but you being able to manage that small space of your house that you have and getting the most out of it. And one of the things why people, because when you talk about urban farming, initially it was not such a common thing. Not so many people actually did practice it. Nimeanza kutrend.
Yes.
That's what's trending right now. That's the type of farming that is trending right now because many people are moving to the urban center, and with food security remains food security. Like the fact that people are moving to the urban center, the amount of food consumed remains constant. And actually for you, if you're moving to the urban center, this means you're going to be buying food and buying everything, unlike you having a farm in the rural area. So one of the things I think why people are doing it is the growing rate of poverty. The number, like, poverty is increasing in a pace that is not good. The poverty line, as I say, it's like in a panda too. Because of the economy affects everything, and it goes back to now people having a very, let me say, a low living standards. That's how we can put it. And people actually opt to producing their own skuma than me going to buy skuma wiki worth 100 bob for me to be able to feed 4 people in a family.
Even 4 people, 100 bob.
So ni kama ni kidogo.
Ni kidogo.
100 bob is for 2 people.
Do you know personally nakulanga skuma ya 40 bob?
And you just one person.
It is just one person.
So you can imagine that's around for you. So
yes.
People are actually, due to the economy and how things are, so people are actually opting out to practice urban farming. You know what? This small land that I have here, soil let nishinda, soil nini seeds azita nishinda, so I'm going to get seeds and plant them. And it's beneficial. Some of the reason it is really beneficial because you're saving a lot. At least unachuna pale sukuma zako and you cook. Saving a coin for you. It's very important. Another thing is lack of formal employment. You see, some people are actually employed with this type of urban farming. Mtu amemwa, you know what, all my energy and all my time I'm going to put into this. So I'm going to buy as many sacks as possible, and I'm going to plant as many sukuma wiki as possible. I'm going to plant as many spinach as possible. I'm going to plant like more. If it's fisheries, having a small fish pond, it sells. Having chicken to sell out, some people are actually depending on this. City, yes, but whatever this person is practicing, that's what feeding them. That's what is educating the children.
And I also think we can also add urban farming as part of processing or something, because I remember there's a farmer who grew potatoes. Then those potatoes he used to make crepes.
You see.
The same space.
This is sort of value addition,
yes.
The same space.
Like he had a very small, like a small kitchen garden, and the same house. He used to have a small room where he used to do the whole crepes processing process, and before he used to sauce. He used to sauce potatoes, but then he realized someone akamchanua akamwambia see you plant a few hapa hata unaweza pata tuseme like 4 or 5 buckets and zitakuwa zimekusavia a lot of money. And he was like, that space was empty. Ilikuwa too wasteland.
You know, with the good thing with kitchen garden, what you can, the good thing with, I don't want to actually emphasize so much on kitchen garden. I want to put it in a way of urban farming. The good thing with it is that whatever that a farmer is, 1 meter, 1 square meter can produce, and a person who has implemented urban farming, these two people are producing very totally yields.
Yes.
One has more because maybe I have sacks and I have arranged them. Maybe zinafika tu uko juu kabisa. Yes, and you just planted here. Who is producing more?
Vertical.
Yes.
The
So you see, with
vertical one.
vertical, this is the vertical farming. It's very important, and it's producing more per square meter.
Yes. And I think the good thing with urban farming is that people have actually blended
With it,
yes with different types of farming. You can find there's the vertical, alafu the lower parts kuna chicken
hapo chini.
yes kuna chicken ama kuna rabbit ama there are maybe goats, ducks.
People are actually even putting goats.
Yes, there's a farmer I know in Makadara who has goats. Goats, not like 10 goats,
But
like 30 goats.
30.
Yes, in a very small space.
You see.
Because amezipanga like the elderly ones you call the lower ground and the young ones you call juu. Ziko juu, yes.
Yes, that's what I actually even saw with chickens. Just put them so you can have so many chickens at one place, and people will be surprised. Wait, what? All these chickens are just living this small. It's just you being able to manage.
Yes.
Maybe the laying ones, the chicks, or those ones who are
Who are ready to hatch.
It's just you being a very good planner and playing around with your space and whatever.
Yes.
Portion of land that you actually do have. And so lack of formal employment has led people to actually practicing this and being their employment and their source of revenue.
Yes.
People are actually doing it. I was so surprised that there was this a trained teacher actually left teaching, and it was like I thought, this is what I love doing, this is what I enjoy doing, and actually this is what fits me. There's a way that I don't know if it's papers, like you cut from them and nenda zikiwa ndogo as you go up and plant mimea hapo. So many, like amezipanga very many, and the amount of that, excuse me, actually that farmer can produce up to 3 sacks of maybe vegetables. And it's different vegetables, like almost all types of vegetable, and it's a very small piece of land, very small. That's what actually sustaining this teacher. So people, lack of formal employment actually pushes you to your limits probably, and you're like, wait, what? So you can be able to do this, and you actually do it perfectly well. And another thing why people actually do practicing this type of farming is for individual food supply.
Yes.
As we said, it's very important. As John said, anaenda kweka yake, because boga for 40 bob, it's not possible.
Imagine one person, 40
for
bob.
a person.
Yes. Now imagine those are like I go buy seedlings 30 bob.
And you plant, just wait and it's kuma. Ukishachuna, the following day they shall grow tena. So that's how it happens. So some are actually doing it for their own individual food supply, maybe for the supply for food to their homesteads. It's important also to understand all the how-tos, even if you're just doing it for your own consumption. It's actually important because you need to take healthy food.
Yes.
You need to have a healthy space for you to be able to produce healthy food. It's important. And lastly, why people, it's not, this is just some of the reasons. We have urban food security to be secured now, because with food security, where there's no food, it's really hard. Saizi probably vitu zimepanda, so it's really hard. So people actually tend to, like, due to scarcity of this, I'm able to produce this, why not use it? Why should I not produce it? Because I'm in a position to do it.
And the funny thing with this Big Four agenda, it's the Big Four agenda, the part of development. People have really grown towns. Towns are growing at a very fast rate. And you realize these people need food. Ujue, if you see so many people in the urban areas, there are very few people in the rural areas. So basically, the manpower in the rural areas to grow food has reduced. So if we also practice urban farming in cities, yes, you reduce the baggage or the burden for the farmers back. Yes.
Keep on producing more food despite the people moving from the rural to the urban areas.
And even considering the climatic conditions, you realize if the farmer is the only person who is going to be relied on for food security, we are going to have an issue in the next few years, a very big issue, because the burden is going to get too big for the farmer, and the population is still growing by the end of the day, and you realize this farmer cannot actually feed the growing population.
Or the ratio, this ratio of which the number of people that our farmer can feed. So
Yes,
someone
yes.
might not be able to
Might not
feed.
be able to feed
Yes.
the ratio that they are feeding right now, and it's a very big issue, considering youth are actually running to the towns. It's
Yeah,
a
very, like once you finish even high school, you're like, you
Yes.
know what, I want to go to the city.
naenda Nairobi.
Yes, in Nairobi.
Ama naenda town.
Of mine calling you like, I want to come to Nairobi. I want to come to Nairobi. Think Nairobi city life is very easy.
Yes. So basically, we need to look at that as a country. As I was saying, you need to foresee, and it's urban farming, because it's coming up as a solution for
Food security.
yes, to food security, and it's supposed to be the biggest motivation for people living in the cities,
To actually do it.
it.
In a position to practice.
Yes, because in the next few years, you'll be one of those people crying because they cannot access food, they cannot access these vegetables and what have you. Yes.
So that's basically some of the reasons why people are actually practicing urban farming.
Yes.
So we want to take a very short commercial break before we come to the last segment of this show.
Yes.
But don't forget, this is the AFarmers Hot Breakfast Show, the best show for farmers. And basically anyone who wants to be a farmer, or basically who is interested in farming.
Yes.
So this is AFarmers Media, where we connect, learn and grow. We're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be back soon.
Beetroot is a highly nutritious root vegetable. The beetroot is the top proportion of a beet plant. It is one of the many varieties of the genus Beta vulgaris, all of which are mostly grown for their edible taproots and leaves. Beetroot is a root crop that takes approximately 3 to 4 months to mature. Beetroot is a fairly easy crop to grow as long as the soil is well cultivated prior to planting. Beetroots do not enjoy wet, boggy or shady soils. Beetroot can be sown in trays and transplanted when the seedlings have 2 true leaves. Plant in full sun, space seedlings 10 to 15 centimeters apart, and rows 20 centimeters to 30 centimeters apart so they have room to grow. Beetroots are also ideal for containers or raised beds. Beetroots will happily thrive in small areas as long as there's at least 20 centimeters depth of soil. Beetroot has been used not only for food but also for treatment for numerous conditions. Eggplant is a popular versatile vegetable that is glossy and purple in color. When it's cut, you will find a meaty white flesh dotted with small clusters of beige seeds. The unripe fruit is consumed as a cooked vegetable. Eggplant is a multitasker that can take on different and delicious forms. Eggplants are a great source of vitamins and minerals.
Welcome back to the last segment of the Hot Breakfast Show with me, Masike Munto.
Joan Nyambura.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in from the beginning of the show till this point. We are glad that you've been with us all through, and we're so proud of you, viewers. you are here. Don't forget. This is the AFarmers Breakfast Show where we connect, learn and grow as we tell the story of an African farmer for you to attain knowledge and grow profits. So don't forget, you can engage in this conversation. You can join us in all our shows every single day. On our social media platform, we keep on insisting that if you're just joining in or just tuning into the show, you can find us via social media platforms.
Farmers Media on Facebook.
Yes.
Also, we have a club that is Africa Farmers Club on Facebook. AFarmers Media on YouTube, at AFarmers with a Z _ Twitter and Instagram. Yes, and LinkedIn, AFarmers Media.
Yes, that's our social media platforms where you can actually find us. If you don't have access to any of those, you can actually call us on our call line. That is 0700293031. That is 0700293031, and we'll be sure to help in whatever way that you need our help. Joanne, I was telling you about how my weekend was, but I did not finish. There is an important aspect that I did not finish.
Okay. I'm all ears.
Ask me what didn't I not tell you?
What didn't you tell me?
Okay, I didn't tell you that I ate ugali from Kana flour.
Hey, Mercy.
Yes.
Kana, you did something to this girl. And I totally understand the something,
yes.
But for her it's extra. And I really need to know where you get your Kana from.
I just buy it from, actually, I buy it from, as I told you, I live in Kitengela, so my Kana buy it from Eastmart supermarket. That's in Kitengela. That's where I get my Kana from, and trust me, When I say you trust me, you should trust me because this is the perfect flour. Because one of the most important thing that I loved about this flour is the packaging, and another thing is me being a farmer. They get the giant millers. They actually get their maize from the local farmer, and that's the most important aspect because they are supporting the local farmer.
Yes.
And if they are supporting the local farmer, why don't you support? Not support. Why don't you buy Kana flour? They told you that there is unga and there is Kana, the perfect lather ya ugali unga that you can actually have in the sweetest way, that they actually reach the limits of cabs and everything, and the price is low.
Yes.
The packaging perfect. They are available in various sizes. We have 2 kg, we have 1 kg, and we have 500 grams. So why not try it out? You can even buy, if you don't trust me, you can buy the 500 grams and get to see how it is. Then you will come and testify to me and actually attest to my testimony that my testimony is actually true, because that's the favorite flour that you can actually use for your ugali at home.
I actually support you. It's the best. It's the best. You eat. You actually forget you have your vegetables.
Yes, because the ugali itself is sweet.
Even with tea, people like me who like taking ugali with tea. Actually, we leave a very small piece of ugali for us to finish with tea.
In the morning, you see.
Not even in the morning, the evening.
The evening.
You've never done that?
No.
You should try it.
Okay.
You should try it.
You can try Joanne's way. You can try my way of eating a very big ugali, because that's the best ugali that you can actually have.
Yes.
Going back to the topic, we're discussing about farming and urban farming. And urban farming is the most important thing that is a trending thing right now because of the increase in population. Farmers need to be up to let's say like up to date with the food security. They have to continue producing more with the current increase in population, and it's important that you as a farmer, if you move from the rural area and you are in the urban area, you can still practice your farming.
Yeah, farming.
Yes, your art. It's an art. They said farming is the best art that you can actually engage in.
Yes.
It's the most enjoyable art that you can actually put yourself to doing. And we're discussing about some of the reasons why people are doing it. And they're saying is the rate at which poverty is increasing. Another thing is lack of formal employment.
Yes.
Yes, we have for individual food supply, and also to ensure that the urban food security is secured, if it's such a word. Yes, and the how to, we just talk about understanding just production in general.
Yes.
That's training, business plan, having appropriate space, and also testing your soil, which is very important. And we want to look at some of the advantages of. No, we've looked on some of the advantages of having urban farming.
Yes.
So everything has its minimal disadvantages. It's it's common.
Yeah, it's common.
Yes, there's nothing that's perfect. So urban farming, this type of farming has a little bit of disadvantages.
And maybe challenges. We can place them together.
Disadvantages, challenges. Actually, let's put it as a way of challenges. Challenges that urban farmers are facing.
Yes.
Yes. And one of them is theft.
Yes.
Someone can come and carry your gunia yako yote. Mtu anaweza kuja bebe tire yako umepanda maybe mahindi, or even the mboga itself, not even your tire, but the mboga itself, they come and take it.
Anabeba yote.
Yes.
Ama ana vandalize too.
Ama just vandalizes it. So
yes,
these are very common threat,
it's a common
challenge to urban farmers, because so it's something that you can't control. Yes, if you have good security, but if you are in an area that there's no such good security, even the neighbors can come, even without permission. That's theft.
Yes,
taking anything without permission, that's theft. Not taking. People say, I mean, no, you stole. You stole. So that's theft. Yes. That's a common challenge for urban farmers, because you've put all your effort, everything into it, alafu kidogo unapata spinach zimechuna. And the worst part is, I've experienced such a scenario. The worst part of these thieves is that the way they pluck this burger irritates you, and you're like, you should even have the courtesy of kuchuna tu vizuri. Chuna tu vizuri, majeni usiniharibie zingine zishinde kutokea.
Yani unataka the softest one.
Unachuna huku juu, and there's more katikati. Maybe you as a farmer, you have a procedure of maybe plucking these vegetables and someone comes and maybe tampers with it, sometimes it's really intimidating.
Basically, so that we can actually tell you how to do it, you start from the bottom.
Yes, you just start from the bottom.
Start from the bottom.
Kama ni sukuma ile ya chini kabisa ukipanda, just usianze katikati, you need fresh ones, no.
Yes.
Yes. And another thing, challenge is, yes, I'm willing to practice urban farming. Nisha plan, everything is set, so it's just me getting the soil. And now, this is the city. Soil is contaminated and you can't sell. So another challenge is farmers acquiring contaminated soil, such that maybe hata inakausha tu mimea from nowhere, unashtukia tu your mbogas may dry, and you're like, wait, what? Did I apply something on these skills? No. What did I do wrong? So another challenge is having contaminated soil in the soil because of the pollution, soil noise, soil, environmental pollution. That's generally what affects having contaminated soil.
That is why we actually advised and insisted on having the soil tested.
Yeah, and getting to know what does it have more, what does it require, or what does the soil have that is harmful to your crop.
Yes.
So I keep on emphasizing because it's important. Having contaminated soil means that your crops are not going to do that well.
Yes, they're not going to be healthy.
Yes.
So if you're looking for that healthy lifestyle, like your main agenda was to get healthy.
Healthy lifestyle,
yes.
Maybe nataka kupanda mboga zenye, personally I'm the one who tunes them and cooks for myself.
Yes.
Because I don't want chemicals or I don't want ABCD. You see, with contaminated soil means that your crop
you
is
might
not
even be
as healthy
doing,
as you think it is.
Yeah, you might even be doing more harm than
the good that you were actually thinking of doing. Yes, it's important. Another thing, the high cost of living. Maisha imepanda, everything right now, literally everything apart from salt, everything imepanda. Every single thing.
True.
So maybe the water bills and everything is high and you're like, what? How am I going to manage? Maybe kunua seeds imepanda, maji inahitaji every single time, bills za maji zimepanda. It's very heartbreaking sometimes. You're like, I need to do it, so I just have to sacrifice it. But some of the challenges that farmers are facing, the high cost of living, leading to the high cost of expenses, more that's infrastructure, or maybe in an apartment, in some apartments you have to rent the area you want to do farming, you have to pay for it, you see, maybe it may increase. So these are some of the challenges that farmers are facing.
The issue with high cost of living, like I have a very good example. My aunt practices pottery farming, and pottery, they're very sensitive, very sensitive. So you cannot even recycle your water. You cannot recycle the water that you use.
Using.
Yes, so you have to buy water and treat it.
For them to take it.
For them to take it. Now imagine with the cost of living.
Buying water first.
Yes.
The treatment itself.
Yes. Yes,
it's
the cost to actually get the water to the home. Hey,
it's a big burden.
It's a big burden, yes, and considering now even the supply, the market to supply the pottery, it's also,
it's not so much accommodating.
Yes, yes, even the price itself, it's not going up, it's actually going down. Yes. So when you actually balance the whole project, you realize you're going at a loss, and it's a bit of a challenge for them. Yes.
And it's some of the challenges that actually farmers are facing, and maybe they don't speak it out, but they are.
And another thing is that rural areas unaweza achilia kuku wako kienyeji style when things go bad.
They maneuver their way.
Yes.
They find their way out.
Yes.
And you see, I don't know, there's this way that God has put it in nature, the same way you find street children, the type of food they eat. If you go and eat that food,
you will not sleep.
Admitted to the hospital. But for them, they're very healthy and working. Just the same way. Chicken, kama umefungia kuku sana, then uziachilia, maybe probably whatever they eat will affect them. And like zile where they used to eat.
Sasa hata urban farming unaziachilia wapi?
Go someone will actually just grab it and nafunge kwa nyumba.
Even if you have good security, unazipeleka wapi? Like the room is this, maximize on this room.
You've used it to the maximum, alafu kuku. But sometimes it's good, as I was told something that if you're just, at the end of the day, they need sunlight. So you can actually make something that is now wire mesh. Just wire mesh. And unaitoa nje sasa, they go and take wanaotajua nayo. alafu then you return.
Now imagine you have 200 chicken.
I don't know how you're going to handle that. It's tricky.
Yeah, it's a very big challenge. It's a very big
challenge.
Yes.
And this takes us to limited lateral space. You see, the space is minimal. So am I going to do it?
Okay,
Space niko nayo ndogo sana, nafaa kufungulia hizi kuku ama niko na kuku wengi sana, nafaa kuwafungulia. Maybe neighbors are maybe pissed off when the chicken rush into the house and everything. You have to keep them close. You have to find a way of them getting sunlight. You can actually try to make their house in a way that they can be able to get sunlight from where they are. You can just kill two birds with one stone. Yes, and we have farmers who actually want to practice large scale farming. This is what they want to do. But now with the high land values, it's like they get demotivated. And like, you know what, the land in Nairobi, trust me, land in Nairobi is really expensive. Like a small piece of land, you're like, wait, what? I'm asking for just this small piece. You're like, yes, that small piece, that's the price. You see? So it gets intimidating, and you're like, I don't think I can do it because of the price of land. You see, yeah. So those are some of the challenges that
I think we left out one, which is very, very crucial, and it's affecting so many people, especially those who are doing livestock urban farming. Disposing of
the waste.
Yes,
it's very important.
And looking for space. Yes, yeah, looking for a certain space where you can store it without affecting the neighbors.
The neighbors, or just your community in general, because with the city, people are just close, and you're like, you can't maybe make people feel uncomfortable in their homes because of the smell.
And you know, manure has ammonia, so
yes.
Yes,
the smell is not that good, but some people are actually doing value addition for this waste. They sell out to urban farmers, and now they use it to their crops as a form of manure.
Yes, that is a solution.
Yes, you can actually find someone you sell it out to, and anaeka kwa mboga zake kwa kitchen garden yake. It's important and it's helpful pia to the crops. I think that's are some of the challenges that we've talked about today. That's all we had for today's topic. I think we've learned a lot. Time is not on our side. We're coming to the end of the show, and we're glad that you tuned in and on Jonas to tell us your take from the show.
I'm going to start urban farming, but first I need to decide which one I need, and actually look at my resources, what I have, what I can use, because because basically that is why we are actually doing it. You are working with what you have.
True.
The space, the containers that you have, or maybe the sacks if it's easier for you to access them. And then I need to actually have it as a business also, so that I may also get income from it. Yes. So nitakuwa nakuja nauzia sukuma hapa.
We have
now onions.
To us and onions.
Yeah, and basically it's a very good venture. And it's something that most people should be actually trying.
Yes.
Not even trying.
Do it.
Yes, just do it.
You can do it.
Yes.
My motivation today is you got this, you can do it. And you fail. If you fail, try it as many times as possible until you get it right. Chances waziishi.
Yes, and our normal mantra.
Yes.
Don't be a comfortable farmer.
Yes, and just don't be a comfortable farmer.
Yes.
Please don't be a comfortable farmer. Try something new each and every single day. As we said, every single day is a learning day. So just make sure to try something new, and please don't be a comfortable farmer. Get to learn new skills each and every single day. Just be a student farmer.
Yes.
Because for students, you learn everything.
Every day.
Every single day you learn something new.
Yes.
So just don't be a comfortable farmer. Ensure that each and every single day is a learning day, and whatever you learn, just put it to practice after thoroughly investigating it and looking
yes.
at it. Don't just learn something and do it. No. Said by the massive from Farmers Media said that you learn something and you do it. No, just learn something. Try to look at it. Embrace it first and get to understand what it is before actually doing it practically. Yes.
So, Mercy, what was your take?
My take for today is a helping hand is a blessed hand. Just if you have producing more, just help out. And what we say today in this show that is not part of the topic is, if you are just ensure that you have free and fair nominations, elections. It's good for everyone. It's healthy. It's healthy, basically, mentally, physically, financially. It's healthy. And my other take is, I'm going to start urban farming, it's beneficial.
Yes.
I had stopped for a while because of a little bit some avoidable circumstances, but I'm going to get back to farming.
Hey,
Yes.
Masi, we need to link up
Yes.
so that I cannot produce kales and you produce kales.
You produce cake, I'll do spinach.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. I'm glad that you tuned in. I'm glad that you've sat through the show until to this end of it all, and you're glad that you've joined us. Don't forget, just tomorrow, same time, same place. Just join us and get to learn new thing, a different thing, and we'll be glad when you tune in. Don't forget, I'm still bado niko pale back left na najaribu kuangalia who are these viewers that just keep tuning
Yes,
in.
yes,
I'm
yes,
just
yes,
from
yes.
back left. You might not know me. I'm just somewhere there, just trying to see who are these viewers who keep tuning in every single day. And trust me, we're going to give you a very good present for you. We have a very good present for you as a farmer. So thank you so much for joining us, and I'm so glad that you've tuned in. I'll continue appreciating you. Even if you don't feel appreciated, just know I do appreciate you every single day.
Yes, we do.
Of my time, every single day, just appreciate you.
Yes.
We do appreciate you as farmers for the work that you're doing there, for the energy that you put into farming, despite the challenges, despite the risks that you are there, you still
Yes.
decide to do it. It's not easy. It's not an easy journey, but it takes patience and all this, just motivation. And we as a farmers being there to ensure that you actually do it and telling you that you can actually doing it.
And giving you the information to do it.
Yes. Anything, John, you have for us?
No, thank you. And I hope you all have a blessed week. I'll see you tomorrow for new information. Basically, that's it.
Yes, so thank you. Have a good day. Have a blessed day. Don't forget to tune in for Shajara ya Mkulima with Diana Mdega, and later on we have Brian Mwenda with the Farm Drive Show. So thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.